Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, well, we're not just looking at cars. We're taking a really thrilling plunge into the future of electric luxury. We're zeroing in on the brand new Audi A6 e-tron family. That's the elegant Sportback, the versatile Avant, and yeah, the absolute powerhouse, the S6 e-tron. Our mission today is simple. Cut through the noise, give you a shortcut to understanding why these aren't just new models, why they're actually a significant shift. We've pulled together insights from a fantastic collection of Audi's own stuff, press releases, tech specs, features right from their media center.
Exactly. And for you listening, the goal is really to distill what makes these vehicles stand out. We want to uncover those surprising details, things behind the design, the performance, and also how Audi is making this kind of electric luxury, well, maybe a bit more accessible. We're here to help you grasp the key innovations, what they genuinely mean for the whole landscape of electric vehicles going forward.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning then. This whole A6 e-tron family, it first popped up as a concept, right? At Auto Shanghai 2021.
That's right. But it wasn't just another concept car, not at all. That debut was a big statement from Audi. They called it the forerunner of an innovative family of all-electric volume models. A bit of jargon, but important. And what's really critical here is the platform. It's only the second model on their premium platform electric, the PPE.
PPE, right. I've heard that mentioned a lot. What does that actually bring to the table?
Well, it's designed to bring together all the strengths you'd expect, really. Performance, good range, efficiency, and importantly, really fast charging. But here's a key thing for the A6 e-tron specifically. It's the first PPE model with a flat floor concept.
A flat floor. Okay, so does that just mean more legroom or?
It's more than just legroom, yeah.
No.
It fundamentally changes the feel of the cabin. Think innovative storage, maybe more lounge-like seating. It gives this profound sense of openness, really elevates that luxury feel inside.
That flat floor, it definitely sounds like a marker for a new era in interior design. But sticking with design for a moment, the outside, the sources really emphasize this blend of striking looks and incredible function. Can you walk us through that a bit? How did they get from that, stunning concept to the actual production car?
Yeah, it's a classic challenge, isn't it? Translating that show car wow factor. The designers, Sascha, Heyde, and Seebers, they really had to nail that. And I think they did. The final cars look commanding, sporty, perfectly proportioned, like the sources say. But what's really fascinating, as you said, is how deep that design connects to the physics. The aerodynamics are, well, they're groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking, yeah.
Okay, so the A6 Sportback e-tron, it has this drag coefficient, a seed value of just 0.21.
0.21, that sounds low.
It is incredibly low. It makes it the most aerodynamic Audi ever, and a leader across the whole VW group in its class. And for you, the driver, that number isn't just a spec. It means directly better range.
Yeah.
Significantly better. And a much quieter cabin at speed. It pushes the boundaries.
That's pretty remarkable for a car this size. And what about the Avant, the wagon version? They're usually not quite as slippery, are they?
Typically not, no. But even the A6 Avant e-tron gets an excellent seed value of 0.24.
Still very good.
Exactly. It puts it right at the top of its segment. It shows this meticulous attention to detail from the aero developers Andreas Lauterbach, Matteo Gelfi, and even the wheel designer Andreas Valencia Pollux. They clearly, like you said earlier, sweated every curve, every surface. It's this holistic approach, maximizing everything.
And that meticulous detail.
Yeah.
It sounds like it carries through inside the car too. You mentioned the flat floor, but are there other innovative features that shape the experience?
Oh, definitely. The sources highlighted a few interesting ones. Things like second-generation virtual exterior mirrors.
Virtual mirrors, so cameras instead of glass.
Exactly. Not just futuristic looking, they can actually improve visibility in some conditions and reduce drag a tiny bit more. Then there's this panoramic glass roof you can get. It becomes opaque just by touching a button.
Oh, neat. Instant shade or privacy?
Right. And a smaller touch, but distinctive Audi, these illuminated rings at the back. But the point is, these aren't just gadgets. They're part of this new interior architecture that's really tailored to the occupants, aesthetics and ergonomics. You can imagine how these things add up on a daily drive, right?
Yeah.
Convenience, comfort, that feeling of being in something truly cutting edge.
Okay, so great design, clever features. Let's talk about the power, the muscle. especially the S6 Avant e-tron. We know it's fast, but break that down for us. What's the driving dynamic like?
Right, the S6 Avant e-tron, yeah, it's a bit of a beast, as you say. It uses a rear-biased all-wheel drive system, highly variable, so it can shift power around really precisely for grip and performance. The system output is 370 kilowatts, but then with launch control engaged.
Launch control for that perfect start.
Exactly. It boosts the power temporarily to an incredible 405 kilowatts, and the numbers that come out of that, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, just 3.9 seconds.
Wow, that's seriously quick for an Avant.
It is. Top speed is 240 kilometers. And despite that power, the range is still quoted at over 640 kilometers.
Over 640, that's impressive range for a performance model.
Yeah, the official technical specs say between 609 and 647 kilometers. So, yeah, very usable.
And if we dive a bit deeper into those tech specs for the S6 Avant, the 370 kilowatt version, what do things like torque figures or weight tell us?
Good question. It highlights the engineering balance Audi's going for. So it's all-wheel drive, one motor front, one rear. Torque-wise, you get 275 Newton meters at the front, but a hefty 580 at the rear.
Ah, hence the rear bias feel.
Precisely. Gives you that instant, really strong push when you accelerate. It's running off a big battery, 100 kilowatt hours gross, about 95 net. Lithium ion, of course. And impressively, the power consumption is kept quite reasonable, between 16.4 and 17.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilowatt hours. Zero CO2 emissions, naturally.
And the weight. Big battery, 2 motors,
Yeah.
must be fairly substantial.
Unladen, without a driver, it's listed at 2,335 kilograms, which, yeah, sounds like a lot. But actually, for an electric vehicle of this size, with that battery capacity and performance, it's pretty well managed. That's key for the acceleration and the handling you expect from an S model. It shows how they're trying to balance that raw power with overall efficiency. And it's worth remembering, there's also that A6 e-tron performance variant. Rear-wheel drive, slightly less power, 270 kilowatt-hours, or 280 with launch control. Available since September 24. Offers a different flavor.
Okay, so we've got the tech, the design, the performance. But what about actually getting one? How is Audi bringing these to market? And crucially, what about the cost?
Right. This is where you see Audi's strategy really clearly. So the main A6 e-tron and the S6 e-tron, both Sportback and Avant, they started taking orders back in September 2024. The initial launch prices, as you expect for the top models, were fairly high. S6 Sportback e-tron started at 99,500 euros. The A6 Sportback e-tron Performance was 75,600 euros.
Okay, so premium pricing to start.
Yes, but here's the clever bit. Almost immediately after, in October 2024, they expanded the family downwards.
Ah, so they didn't wait long to introduce more accessible versions.
Not at all. They brought in new, attractively priced, entry-level models, as they put it. This includes a rear-wheel drive version, but with a slightly smaller battery, 83 kilowatt-hours gross, about 76 net. And that brought the starting price for the A6 Sportback e-tron down to 62,800 euros. The Avant version starts at 64,450.
That's a significant drop, makes it much more competitive.
A huge difference. And they didn't stop there. They also introduced more affordable Quattro all-wheel drive versions. These still use the larger 100 kilowatt battery, but come in below the performance model. So 79,800 euros for the Sportback Quattro, 81,450 for the Avant Quattro. It's a really clear, tiered strategy. It lets them cover a much wider part of that electric upper mid-size segment. Proves that premium EV tech can hit different price points without really ditching those core Audi qualities.
Wow, okay, what an incredible deep dive that was. We've really unpacked this Audi A6 e-tron family, haven't we? From that initial vision, the whole PPE platform, the really stunning aerodynamic design that actually breaks records, then the performance, especially that S6, and finally this very strategic pricing approach, making electric luxury maybe more accessible than you'd think.
Yeah, and if you connect all those dots, all those specifics, it's clear Audi isn't just, launching a couple of new cars here. They seem to be setting new benchmarks for what electric luxury means. Not just one car, but a whole family built on this forward-thinking platform. Understanding these details, I think, really gives you that shortcut to being properly informed about what's quite a significant moment in the EV market.
Absolutely. So thinking beyond the specs, the sleek lines, even the smart pricing, what does this whole package, this intentional blend of high performance, cutting edge features, and that expanding accessibility all in one electric family, what does it signal about where the car industry is heading? What could it mean for the competition? And how might it start to reshape what we, as consumers, expect from sustainable premium transport in the coming years? Lots to think about there. What stands out to why you